making money on that boy's name longer than he lived.
Well, we're working on him to drop in January. Besides that, we about to just drop our arm.
Yet again, bringing in cash on that kid's name longer than me languid and keeping in mind that we're dealing with him to drop in January other than that we're going to drop our R. I told my he won receipts we should begin with your mom, got the receipts, everything is in your mom name. That is the person who got the receipts, you really want more proof, big deal in here. So large can't give you no receipts, he dead, crayed Mack. Can't give you receipts, he dead. What are you referring to, who else? Dark wrong. Lord, do you get she dead? And every other person you might sign desk work. So they can't discuss what I'm referring to. I'm the only one with the guts when I sign it in the event that I want the cash. All cash ain't great cash, recollect. That recall that your mom got the receipts, oak everything is in your mom name stalled, so I cry out of control in the vehicle. I'm sorry. I'm certain you're mindful that regardless of whether you set forth some parcel of energy, you will not have the option to make progress on your own in the music business, and coordinated effort is dependably fundamental, whether one is beginning as a craftsman or is now notable in their field, yet others take things to a limit, and one of those individuals, and ostensibly the most hazardous, is P. Diddy, has been gotten down on by various rappers, eminently Busta Rhymes, for the matter in which he handles his performers. By the by, he doesn't appear to be annoyed by this, and is consistently prepared to shield himself, and afterward Mase, who was a craftsman and terrible kid, talked about how he truly took care of them in those days, and how he did it on the grounds what is going on was so critical. You ain't getting the distributing, you ain't getting the regard executioner was great. To he metaphorically and essentially start his artists. How about we have a discussion about what occurred and perceive how the last way men are doing. You realize everybody was shocked when Mase at 19 years old declared his expectation to stop terrible kid and become a cleric. Rather, in light of this decision, there was a ton of reaction as many individuals addressed why a 19-year-old rapper who had proactively ruled the diagrams, which unexpectedly decided to surrender all of this achievement. When addressed, he said that he went with the choice to better his life, and that this improvement included more than absolutely getting more cash. Well, I concluded, how about we begin rapping? I simply needed the beat of my life. I needed to improve for my life. Not just time. Cash is generally ideal for you, almost certainly. He guessed that something would be sitting tight for him, in spite of the way that he was under a drawn-out agreement with the record organization. He had the option to break out of it with very little trouble, regardless of the way that he was never paid any eminences for his collection invite back. He was as yet ready to get back into the game, following 5 years anyway. During a meeting with Puffy, he demonstrated his desire to stop the gathering. In the end, he returned once more, and this time uncovered Diddy, and even went live on Instagram to uncover him. See the hurt and the agonies of others on awful kid. That spurs me to say something, so I don't am to be considered as an individual bundle of cash, and turned the visually impaired eyes. Wayne getting the cash, or ain't getting the distributing, you ain't getting the regard, and I don't think you'll like it. He additionally uncovered all the unjustifiable treatment they had been exposed to by Diddy, including being famished to death in an Instagram post that has now been erased. He expressed your previous strategic approaches purposely starved your specialists and were very unreasonable to the very craftsmen who assisted you with getting the simple grant on the famous terrible kid mark. He even had a meeting in which he discussed how he was rarely paid, regardless of whether he was the sole writer of all the terrible young men hits. In any case, Diddy emerged to answer Make's allegations and said that he took nothing from anybody and that he just gave opportunity, that I'm a slime ball that could at any point take anything. I am Diddy seen Kong. I didn't never take anything from no one daily in my life. All I've at any point offered is chance, and more cash than an individual was making. So when I hear like, well, I see things, and I'm similar to wow, this energy that they got on me, like I'm huge red or something. I came here, I needed to open up the entryways you don't take from each of the specific point. And the cash is running low you must spat this hustle to attempt to track down someone to fault. He additionally implied that Mase was only searching for somebody to fault when precisely he ended the agreement. He additionally discussed how he would do it. No, I did one collection with Mase, one collection. How much cash do you think I owed this person? One collection. And afterward he turned into a phony minister and proceeded to con individuals. And afterward you all going to allow him to toss soil on the God's name? I composed every single one. And every single body, anyone could come and move forward. Bring your receipts yet. I'm not playing, I'm back outside. And I'm retaliating for ourselves. And I'm likewise do somewhat retaliating for me. You have any idea about what I'm talking about, so how much cash does? And I'm tossing this out, how much cash does someone like Stun owe you in light of the fact that the explanation it owes me $3 million, that is realities. I got the receipts, second collection, you gave cash. To do a subsequent collection, never conveyed, did the collection, never conveyed oak. And I won't go this way. And that with Mase you understand what I'm talking about, I'm not going this way. And that with no one, and surprisingly, more awful he ventured to such an extreme as to call Plateau counterfeit minister, who owes him $3 million. Mase was truly furious in light of the fact that Diddy was looking at him merging with seats. He said they were completely enrolled in his mom's name. Mase truly had the guts to converse with Puffy, particularly as a clergyman. You realize, I did one collection with me, one collection. How much cash do you think I owe this person? He one receipt. How about we start with your mom? Your mom got the receipts, everything is in your mom name. That is the person who got the receipts. You want more evidence, Piggy, in here. So enormous, can't give you no receipts. He dead. What are you referring to? Who else? Dark wrong ruler. Do you get he dead? I'm the only one with the guts. __. Let me know how to get cash. They let me know how to set up my agreement. So I have to surrender it. So one day I have to accomplish something insane for his youngsters. Since he helped my kids, maybe on the grounds that he also had lost a couple of companions due to Diddy's obscure dealings, he and Big Deal were very close. You recall that Panther right moves tune to a jewel guaranteeing that he played a part in Big Deal's demise, and uses the name Biggie despite the fact that he has been dead for over 20 years. Sadly, Puffy appears to think often the most about what anybody needs to say. He's basically perhaps of the most flawless pop star anybody knows. And on the off chance that you actually don't have any idea how to manage these accounts, has been bringing in cash not entirely oak of Big Deal's name for longer than Big Deal was alive. Individuals continue failing to remember he hadn't turned 25 yet. He was as yet 24 when he passed on. It's been north of 25 years. Pup has been bringing in cash on that kid's name longer than he resided. It upheld all the terrible kid. His list, obviously, of Big Deal smalls, stanza entirely important. We should discuss Craig Mack was one of the main vocalists of the awful Kid Mark. At first he had the valuable chance to work with Diddy at Uptown Records, yet Diddy was terminated. So everything flopped except when he established Awful Kid Records. He welcomed Craig. So Puffy basically fabricated his vocation and ousted him in a couple of years. What's going on with everything's coming up in the short term? We got Large's better half dropping me and Miss Wallace. She's dropping certain We additionally have some B-side and a few other various tasks. We have Large's new collection that will be dropping in like September Eternal Life. I'm certain you got a lot of things available for my video. Certainly we got another collection we work on him to drop in January. Other than that, we're going to drop our RARB stuff. Biggie passed on not long after this meeting, and Craig passed on from cardiovascular breakdown in 2018, yet in Craig's supposed imperceptible meeting, he discussed how Diddy took advantage of him. They had an arrangement that Diddy would pay in third portions as he shot the melody, yet Diddy broke his commitment when Craig defied him eye to eye. I'm disappointed. I truly need your recommendation. And your adoration, right currently flipping around the radio, broadcast 660 AM, or FM Williams station, is with a preeminent group used to be on promptly in the first part of the day presented from Upper Hempstead. Yet have that joint's impacted so I was searching for that. And when I turned the station, this gospel music came on, and it was this tune I've never heard before in my life. Ever yet, I realized that it was God conversing with me. You understand what I'm talking about, a result of the manner in which it caused me to feel genuinely. I stalled, began crying all once again, the spot in the vehicle. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I was thinking about attempting to do this to someone since it was truly in my heart. Right now, individuals acknowledge that Diddy got his abundance by clutching others, particularly whose employers him. Or